Natasha, how are you doing today?
I am so good. I'm so excited to be here with you. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. This ought to be a great conversation because mindset, I think, is one of the cornerstones of entrepreneurship. But before we dive into that, before we get there, was it always your intention to be a mindset coach, a motivational speaker, all of that? Or did you sort of end up here on accident?
You know what? The truth is, I've always been in touch with tapping into my human potential since I was a kid. I mean, I was always understanding and reading and studying that there was more than just the five senses. I knew there was more to life. But then here's what happened. I went through, after studying all of this, I sort of had those spiritual tools, if you want, and tools, understanding how I would learn and absorb information and become, a businesswoman at some point. I didn't know I would go on to be the person I am today. But 5 years ago, this threat began for me. I hit rock bottom. I found myself broke, homeless with a newborn baby after a horrible divorce. I was all alone. And when I was all alone in that place, I had nothing going for me. And I felt depressed. And when you have an illness and you really can't move, I'm trying to care for my newborn baby. It was a really dark place. And from that place, I started to practice meditation. I started to practice breathing exercise. I started to practice different things. And what happened was I realized I had formulated my own method. This method healed me from my illness. It healed me from being broke, took me from a victim mentality to the victor. And that is when I made my money. That's when I transformed my life and created 3 passive streams of income, 1 8-figure business, best-selling author. But first, I had to go through that pain. I had to let that pain, as Rumi, the 16th century poet, says, let the pain be my cure. And that pain really was my cure. I didn't know why it was happening to me because I already thought I was on a spiritual journey. But pain hits you, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual pain, to show you you're going in the wrong direction. It's just like a red alert, and it's firing your face saying you're going in the wrong direction. And so I realized I need to get off this. I need to get off the path I'm in. And as I went through this pain, this is when I realized, okay, everything I was doing till now was wrong. I thought I was in a great place. I thought I was in a good marriage. I thought I was doing good things. But actually, I'm just putting up with bad things and sticking around negative people. And it's brought me down so low. I've lost my sense of self. So I started using this method, using these tools, which became my MBS method, as you mentioned. And that went on to not only heal me, but serve millions of people.
Wow. I mean, definitely talk about a journey right then and there. I can only imagine the hardship of trying to center yourself in the middle of all the calamity and chaos. And it's hard. You can't put those kinds of things into word, but the technique itself is its legacy. So is the fact that you're now #1 female mindset coach, and for me, the first question that comes to mind when I hear something like that is, do you remember the moment you realized, what, this is working for me and I think it can help others?
Yes. So when I recognized that, well, why is it happening to me? I realized when you point a finger and say it's your fault, right? Look, 1, 2, 3. How many fingers are pointing back at you? If you point to someone, it's 3 fingers pointing back at you. So I'm the problem. So what I realized was the same thing. If it's happening to me, this is something I need to work on. But what do I need to work on more than just healing myself, which already was a mission in itself? I realized it was happening to me because I had a big platform, a platform where I could share, a platform where I could share my story, my mission, and help others to get through it. So the penny dropped when it sort of all was happening all at the same time. And I had this platform that was growing. People were listening to my story, listening to the words of wisdom, which I'd already been teaching for a decade. And I've been putting them out there through my social media platforms, just in the captions, right? And I was drawing people in through everything I was writing. And eventually I transitioned it into my coaching empire, into my business. But I realized it was when people started writing to me and saying, you've changed my life. Just listening to your story, I tried what you did. And you've changed my life. I was in debt, 100,000. One of my clients in debt, 100,000. Another one, 300,000. And they've come out of it through applying my method, through understanding how to transform their destiny. You can rewrite your financial destiny. You can rewrite your life plan yourself once you understand how to tap into your subconscious mind, how to rewire those new neural pathways in the brain. Learning a skill is no different to learning a language. Learning a language is no different to manifesting. Manifesting is a skill. When you learn how to manifest, and it is in a new word, it's very exciting. This word is everywhere, everyone's talking about it. It's essentially the law of attraction. And whether or not you believe in the law of attraction, it's happening around you, but you can learn how to apply it. And if you rewire those new neural pathways in your brain, you strengthen them and you strengthen. By the way, I totally geek out on neuroscience, is my thing. It's part of my method. So when you build them, you can have and be and do anything you want, because you are creating long-lasting new human behavior in your own mind, in your own body. It's like muscle memory.
I see.
So,
now, this MBS, right? Meditational Behavioral Synchronicity. Can you, without going too deep into it, because obviously that's an entire course and method, and there's coaching involved, but just an overview of what the experience is like. Is it sitting down and clearing your mind, or what are some of the ideas behind it that maybe an entrepreneur listening right now could get a taste of and go, okay, I need to be in touch with her right now?
So this is exactly it. It's for entrepreneurs. It's for people who, like me, where I came from, I had nothing. I lost all my money in my business. I was broke. And in that first year, I used this method. I made my first $1 million. So how did I do it? Well, the method itself is not woo-woo. It's a mix of neuroscience. It's a mix of understanding your subconscious mind is the most powerful thing that we have. It's a part of your brain that works for you if you understand how to steer it, how to drive it. So what the MBS method does, essentially did for me and so many other people, is it helps you to remove the blockages and the self-limiting beliefs that are stopping you from becoming the super entrepreneur you're meant to be, from 10xing your business, from they're holding you back from taking that leap of faith to leave corporate America, to leave your corporate job, to go and start your own business. The limiting beliefs that are blocking you from meeting somebody that you actually love and you can have a beautiful relationship with. The limiting beliefs are the only thing holding you back. And people think, oh, okay, nope, I don't have it. I've gotten rid of it. Now I can go and make the money, but you don't, or it comes and it goes. You have to actually work on those issues. You actually have to do the work on yourself, like I did, like others have done. And once you do that work on yourself, and you can use many different methods, NLP and various different therapy things, but mine is so simple. It's so quick. People are having breakthroughs in 15 minutes. Just 15 minutes of this exercise. If you go deep enough, because it works with your brainwaves, right? So here, right now, we're in beta. When we go deeper, we go to alpha. And then in alpha, we can go even deeper to theta. Now, in these brain waves, they're measured in EEG for anyone who's interested in the science behind it by scientists. When you're in that altered state of awareness, okay, that is where you do the work. And that's what the MBS method is going deeper into an altered state of awareness through breathing exercises. That same feeling people get from ayahuasca and all these different things. I just do it through breathing. And you are releasing DMT in your brain essentially, but naturally you are in a healthy way, taking yourself to a very calm state of mind through voice, through music, through breathing exercise, through meditation. It's kind of like a self-hypnosis. Mix all that up in the pot. Now, remove those limiting beliefs while you're in that deeper state of consciousness if you want. And then you rewire the neural pathways to say, I am worthy of 10xing my business. I am worthy of abundance. I am worthy of creating financial freedom right now. I am able of thinking of a new idea that is going to save my company. I am able to learn entrepreneurial skills right now that I didn't know. I can learn them fast because you're unlocking essentially an encyclopedia in your brain. You're unlocking the ability to work faster, to be more focused, to be more motivated, to achieve your goals faster and easier. That is what the MBS method is for any entrepreneur who's listening.
I see. And then there's this idea of sometimes we don't even know what our self-limiting beliefs are. And the best way to find out would be to dive into this state of thinking at the different levels of brainwaves, and to pay attention, be mindful. Is that one aspect of it? Is the affirmations is something I think is quite common and popular for a lot of people, and obviously not diving into the waves themselves, but it's because I'm truly interested in this. The development of understanding your limiting beliefs, I think, is often the biggest challenge. You don't know what you don't know, right? And so I'm just curious if you have any thoughts on that specifically.
Absolutely. So the awareness is the first thing about your limiting belief. So being aware that there is something blocking you. Now, you don't have to be aware that it's a limiting belief, but by the way, it is. It always comes down to whether, or however you want to phrase it. Oh, my dad didn't love me. And how that make you feel? Ultimately, the lower we go, the deeper we go, we always get to the same answer. I feel or felt unworthy of, and then you fill in the blank. It will always come down, no matter how you do it, to the same thing. I feel diminished. I feel unworthy. It's always that same flavor at the bottom of feeling unworthy. That's the limiting belief ultimately that's blocking you from achieving your destiny. So that is the first thing, acknowledging it. Now, another way that you can deal with it is in the conscious mind. You can do that before you even do the work. That's, a bit more into this. You can do my classes. So I host every single Saturday meditational behavioral synchronicity classes, which is like a meditation, essentially, exactly what we just talked about. Every single Saturday, it's a membership, it's amazing. And people sit in community and we go deeper. And at the end of that session, there is no other way of you walking out other than feeling amazing, other than feeling better than you did before and being more focused. And sometimes we're so busy in our day, we don't have time for ourselves. So if you commit to coming every single Saturday to a class, you are making that time for yourself. No matter what happened in your week, you're going to meditate at least once a week in a deep state of mind. And that's like doing 4 meditations a week because you're doing it for an hour. And the hour passes so fast, it's like unbelievable. People are like, can we stay here? Can we do it longer?
That's amazing. Now your book, the action plan, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, does this also cover the MBS method, or does it also go into your story and other things? Tell me a little bit about the book.
So the book, The Action Plan, I wrote a couple of years ago, and it came out at the beginning of COVID when we all went into a lockdown, and it was a great time because people were able to read it. Now, it's nicknamed The Mini Secret, and I understand why. Because it looks like it, I guess, from the outside. I'm fascinated with designs of ancient ruins because of my heritage. So that was always something I grew up with. And then going further than that, it's like the idea of having found a secret scroll. That's what the book is. It's based on like having found ancient knowledge, but there is no woo-woo, none of that. It's very practical around how to apply the law of attraction into your life in under an hour. That's the subtitle of the book. It's for people who are a little bit skeptical about what that is, how it works, because that's why I called it the action plan. It is about taking action. I have 5 pillars of manifesting, and the 5th pillar is taking action in your life. 5th pillar is very strong because you can believe it, you can feel it, you can say, this is what I want to do, your words, and there is power in words, yes. And I am all about affirmations, but if you do not take action upon what you believe in, there is no point in thinking about it because you're just going to sit there and your actions will contradict it. You have to go out of your way to make an effort towards your assignment, towards your goal every day. You've got to ask the universe every day, good morning, higher power, good morning, God, whatever you want to call it. What is my assignment for today? You can even just say it to yourself. What is my assignment today? Please show me events and people and places that are going to take me steps towards my assignment today. What am I meant to do? How can I connect my purpose in my business? Because the times when I felt worst in my life, when I felt so depressed and down, it was when I was not doing things towards my purpose. And even now, if I'm doing something that is not towards my purpose, It's a part of admin that just drives me crazy, and constantly things which are, someone else I could delegate to. If I find myself doing it, and you do end up doing things at some point in your life, and I did, and it's what it still happens from time to time, but when it does, that's when I feel most off center, is when I'm not doing something towards my purpose. And I have 3 P's for this. It's called plan, purpose, proactive. When you feel anxious and depressed, and I used to suffer from 3 panic attacks a day, I had anxiety on a high level during and after my illness. So I can speak about this from a very personal experience level. When I went through that, it was because I was not doing things towards my purpose every day. And you'll get confused sometimes because you'll feel like I am doing my purpose. But honey, if your purpose is not helping other people, it doesn't make you feel good as well every day. And I don't mean superficially good. I mean, it makes you feel like you are really making a mark on this planet. You are making an imprint on this planet. And by the way, that could be as small as simply helping somebody in the street. That's making a good imprint. It doesn't have to be a great monumental thing. There are people like me who have big platforms who are meant to go and help in a huge way. Or maybe you are someone who has got a big platform. Then yes, get using it or grow a platform so you can make a bigger mark in this world. But anyway, it comes down to 3 things. If you feel off center, or you feel depressed, or you feel anxious: purpose, proactive, and plan. Whatever order you want to put that in. Are you taking steps towards your goal? If you are not acting in your purpose every day, you are feeling off center. You are feeling stuck. 2, make a plan. Make a plan to actually now go and focus on something that is towards your business, that is taking you steps closer to what you want to do. And then 3, be proactive about it. Every day, assign a number of tasks that you're going to do towards your goal. Write this down if you're listening. This is an amazing piece of advice, which I learned a decade ago, and it has transformed my life. Write down 3 goals that you can do every single day. If you can write down 3 goals that you can do every single day, and every day you tick them off, doesn't matter how small, but when you do those goals, do you know how good it feels? Because you're now an achiever. 3 goals a day is 1,096 goals a year. Your side hustle is now your main hustle. Whatever you were working on the side, you can now go to full time if you wanted, because you have transformed what was just an idea into 1,096 goals. You've got a full-blown business sat there. That is entrepreneurial advice.
I like this. Fundamentally, there's a push and a discipline towards relaxation, which sounds like a contradiction in itself, but I mean, almost everything in the universe is when you get down to it fundamentally, right? But there's this idea of a disciplined relaxation and expansion of awareness, and a focus on developing the vision that you intend to carry out day to day and expand it to week and month to month, and as far ahead in advance as you can envision. In all those principles, I can see how they apply to help generate the kind of success that people are looking for. So I do believe I'm picking up what you're putting down. Now, that being said, so you have this book, you have your method, and you have every Saturday, you say you run a group meditation. Are there any other things you'd like the listener to know about that you work on, carry out on?
For sure. If you're listening and you're like, I'm in a scarcity mindset. This is one of my most asked questions. How do I get out of being in my rut? I can't make any more money. I need 3,000 a month. I make 3,005. Why am I not making more? Where am I stuck? That's probably the most asked question about the financial. The truth is, it's all down to your mindset. It's down to 3 things when it comes to a wealth mindset. 1, your mindset. 2, your skill set. And 3, your environment. Your mindset, you've got to work on. You've got to get yourself enrolled in programs. You've got to get yourself a mentor. You've got to do the work. But having a mentor means you don't have to do as much because it's instant. They're feeding you it. They're spoon feeding you it. So whether it's me guiding you on your journey or someone else, make sure you get enrolled. Make sure you find someone you trust who can guide you to that next level. When it comes to skill set, make sure your skills are right up there. Make sure your skills are legitimate. Make sure they're working. Make sure you are honing in on your craft every day, doing those 3 goals a day, 3 hours a day. You got to hone in like Einstein did. You got to hone in on that craft like Da Vinci did. These people spent time secluded in their own space, building their skill set far and wide. And you need to do the same. You have to put that time in. I read, I study 3 hours a day because my programs are filled with knowledge from ancient books, texts, mentors many moons before our time, mentors who have left the planet a few years ago, mentors who are still here. I've done that knowledge and I put it into different programs. And probably my most popular program, well, I know it's my most popular. Most people come away from this within a few sessions having transformed entirely financially. It's my money magnet program. My money magnet program is one of the most sought after things because you can come in and learn how to transform your mindset from scarcity to a wealth mindset. And that's the biggest key. I always ask people, how much would you pay to learn how to make $1 million overnight? How much would you pay to be able to unlock the key of abundance? Like it starts pouring, like money rains down on you all of a sudden. How much would you pay to understand a success mindset? Because money is a byproduct of success. And I teach that in my program. It's a 12-month program. It's super fun. It's accessible. It's easy. It's value stacked. And, we've made it available to everybody. So if they want to come and learn about my money magnet program, you also get 6 months of live mentoring with me, which means I'm like your accountability partner. So we're sitting there, we're going back and forwards. You're learning. And when you learn how to remove the prosperity blocks that are in your way, how to get rid of all your old ways of thinking and actually become like a magnet. I'm wearing red right now. You're the blue part of the magnet. It's sticking together. You got to just be that red magnet with the blue that attaches to you. And it's so easy once you know how. And it truly is just one secret, one big secret, and understanding that. And I teach that in my program.
I see. Okay. Now we don't have much more time left, and I was just getting into it. Like we were just touching the surface of what it is that you're doing for people, helping people discover, explore, develop. So for me, number one, where do you want people to go after having heard this? Where do you want the listener to go direct their attention to immediately? Social media, your website, where do you want them to go?
Okay, so if anybody wants to stay in touch, you guys can come find me on Instagram. I love receiving DMs. I really do. When I get a chance to go through them, I really do. And I will sometimes voice note you back so you'll know it's me. I love it when people reach out. It's a beautiful platform which enables everyone to stay in touch. Amidst my 5 million followers on there, I do actually get through it. So please do DM me on Instagram, Natasha Graziano. And I will see you there. It might be under Natasha Graziano, which is my previous name before. How funny! I married literally and added 2 letters to my surname. It was fantastic. So come find me, and be a pleasure to hear from you guys. So come find me there, or go to natashagraziano.com and find everything that you want. But the easiest way is just in my Instagram. There is a link in my bio. You can hit it up literally right now while we're speaking. There is a drop down menu of everything we've just spoken about. And if you want to choose a program, you want to choose something for free, you want to get involved, you want a taster of my meditations, well, actually right now, I'm going to make sure it's there. We are making my program, my mindset elevation meditations that I've been talking about with the MBS method every Saturday for only $4. So for anyone listening, literally for $4 for this month only, you can get a taster of understanding what it is like to remove those self-limiting beliefs and manifest anything you want in 24 hours.
Right on. Okay. And then again, the Instagram is under Natasha Grano or Natasha Graziano, right? One of the two is going to be there. Natasha Grano. Yeah, that's the one I see it under right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And now I have a question I've asked every guest that's ever stopped by. Natasha, you're welcome to pass. You don't have to. And you can, and no one has. But it's basically if we could have invited anybody to join you and I today to sort of join us and talk about the things that we were talking about and open them up in their own way, who would it be, dead or alive, and why?
Okay, so I would probably bring Is it to open them up more?
And just in general, for whatever reason you would invite them for, right? So people have said in the past, Oprah, Elon Musk, my kids, my grandma, my grandpa, my father, my mother, so there's no wrong answer.
I would bring Princess Diana. I feel like she was a true inspiration. Um, I would have brought her because I know that she was all about humanity and serving the world. And that is somebody that I would have loved to have met and sat down with and had a conversation about helping humanity. So Princess Diana would have been someone that I would have loved to invite into this conversation.
I love it. That's the first time someone's mentioned her, and I'm deeply surprised. Yeah, that somebody hasn't mentioned her before, but I love that. Prince Diana was amazing. Uh, I can see that now, uh, and you channel a lot of that same love for humanity and hoping to push the development of humanity as a whole forward through your platform. So I can see where the paint comes off the canvas for you. I love it. Thank you so much for stopping by today, Natasha. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, although it was brief.
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to catching up with you again soon. Peace and love and blessings. And everybody listening, have the most amazing day. Feel motivated, feel inspired, and do not stop until you get what you want to achieve.
Right on.